How long have you been married?
1 year, January 1st, 1990.
How's that working out?
It's great.
I think this is nice.
Yeah.
I think this is a good combination. I don't know your husband. I certainly know of him and have seen him play baseball many, many times. Dave Justice.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
for the
right.
Atlanta Braves.
Right.
How did you guys?
You and Dave have something in common.
What is that?
You're both gap tooth.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Although his gap is a little bit wider. His gap is bigger than yours, sorry.
Well, that didn't mean anything.
But yours is better.
Oh, no. How did you and Dave meet?
We met, actually, I saw him first on a Rock and Jock softball game.
One of those MTV deals?
Yeah, MTV deals. And I saw him and I thought, this is the man of life. I got to meet this man.
Yeah.
So the next day, I was looking through a magazine, ironically, and I saw a picture of him in a Kuppenheimer suit.
Mm-hmm. Doing a little modeling work?
Little modeling work, for an inexpensive suit company in Atlanta. The ones you used to wear when you were a weatherman.
Yeah.
But now you've got 3,000 Armani suits on you. But anyway, so I took this ad out and I put it up and I put it in my dressing room and I said, I'm gonna meet this man. Well, a week went by, all my friends said, Halle, you're ridiculous. You can't go chasing a man, you can't go that low. Girl, forget it. So I said, okay. Well, a week later, a guy called me up and I was doing an interview with a guy from the Cincinnati Herald, and at the end of the interview, he said, I've got a friend who adores you and wants your autograph. And I said, okay, well, who? And he said, David Justice of the Atlanta Braves.
How about that?
I fell out on the floor, got back up, and I said, give him my number instead of an autograph.
And from that, you guys started dating. You went to see a ball game, and it worked out.
Went to see a ball game, yep.
Is he still wearing the cheap suits?
It's freezing in here. I mean, Paul was right.
It's better than it usually is.
I haven't felt my left 20 minutes.
Whoa, well, let me get my oven mitt. Woo! Hello.
I have a tribute to him.
Oh, like a little poem or something?
No, something a little bit different. Would you like to? Can I share it with you?
Absolutely. Whatever it is, let's have it. Let's enjoy it.
You need those guys to sing with you? We can get those guys back here to sing.
No. I need you to help me.
All right, be happy
Can you
to.
help me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Holy cow, are you kidding me?
I have a little tribute to both of my Daves.
Whoa, well,
life.
how about that? I don't know what to say. Thank you very much. It's a tattoo that
I
has
have a tattoo that says David on it.
Yes.
It's a tribute to you
Yeah.
and Dave. And I told David I was going to show that
And
to you
it
today.
doesn't bother him that you're sharing that?
No, because see, it's Garfield the cat, and he only gets to see, one Dave. So we thought it'd be nice if he could see another Dave tonight. So he saw you tonight.
I don't know what any of this means, but I feel as though I've been blessed.
We have some evidence I'd like the jury to take a look at. Okay, you're being clearly manhandled. So I think this is okay. This is a celebratory hug. So far, we're all right?
Yeah.
And did your husband see this, by the way?
Yeah.
Was your husband okay with this?
Yeah, he just didn't. He had one comment. He said that he could see the saliva on my chin from his seat.
Ah. Yes. That's what husbands like to see. And here we have this is why he ought to be doing time.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God.
But
It looks right, though, for some reason. It looks just fine to me.
Look at me. I don't look like I'm like...
No, you're not exactly running.
Not enjoying myself
No.
there.
You're kind of getting into it yourself. And did the young man say anything to you afterward?
No.
Really? There was no explanation, no apology, no thank you, I enjoyed that, or see you next year, or...
No.
Wow. Wow. Well, that was quite a moment, wasn't
He
it?
was out of his head, you know, and I think having been there just the year before and knowing what that feels like when you really are the underdog and then you all of a sudden get your name called,
Yeah.
I think I really understood and I was happy to sort of go with it.
Man, what a lucky guy. What a lucky guy. And your mom, where does she live? You're from Ohio originally, right?
Yeah, she lives in Ohio.
Do you spend time in the summer back in Ohio, or is she even there anymore?
No, she's there, but she's moving to LA now.
That's great.
And we might have a little something in common because my mom, I think, is really cool like your mom is. My mom is, I mean, everybody thinks it's about their mom, but my mom is one of these open, liberal, try anything one-time moms.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So when you were a kid, was that helpful to have a mom like that? Was she supportive in that sense?
Very supportive.
Yeah.
Always letting me try whatever I wanted to try, no judgment. I took her on a vacation for Christmas to Hawaii. And, you know, we ran out of things to do, so my mom decided she's gonna go surfing. I'm like, Mom, but you're like almost 65.
Wow. Wow.
She's like, so? I'm gonna go surfing. And I couldn't even go because I had to sign a contract with the studios. I was in the middle of a movie that I can't do anything dangerous.
Right.
So I had to sit on the sidelines and watch my mom surf.
And how did that go?
That didn't go well for me.
But no, how did it go for Mom?
Great.
Was she
Great.
able to get up and ride waves and stuff?
Awesome, yeah.
Really?
Up, riding, like better than like the 15-year-old kids that were in the same class. She was
That's
awesome.
remarkable. Well, good for your mom.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. Is she
Awesome.
65 years old?
She'll be 65
Tremendous.
this year.
That's great. And coincidentally, Sunday, my mom was 83, and we had a big party for her up. Had a big party for her up at the house, and the only thing she wanted, do you have any idea what she wanted at the party?
Strippers?
No. That was me. She wanted one of those mechanical bulls. She loves riding.
Really? Wow.
You just woo-ha, yee-ha. Let's show them a scene from Catwoman. It opens on Friday. This is going to be an enormous movie, don't you think? This is going to be like your true summer blockbuster.
I'm hoping.
Do you know what the scene is going to be here?
This is a scene where I've just sort of became Catwoman in all her full glory, and she's sort of found out where the bad guy is, and she sort of snatches him up out of a club and takes him into an alley and does some damage on him.
Excellent. So we see now the genesis of Catwoman here. This is the birth of Catwoman.
No, she just became Catwoman in all her glory.
Oh, so okay. So now you actually are Catwoman.
I am Catwoman.
Okay, let's take a look here. That's unbelievable. Man.
I'm good, right? I'm good.
Are you feeling all right?
I am. I had a few mishaps lately.
Well, we were talking about Fleet Week earlier, and you yesterday were on was it the Intrepid? Is that where you were?
No, the USS Kearsarge I was on.
Kearsarge?
Kearsarge.
Kearsarge.
Yes.
All right, and you were visiting the men and women, the crew there.
Yes.
And there you are with some of the guys, and something happened. You got sick, right?
Yeah. Two very surprising things happened. First, one of the soldiers, proposed marriage. And I think it was serious. And that was great. And then I was out. I was like, hey.
Yeah.
And then I got up on the deck and I thought I was going to try to shake hands and meet as many, sailors as I could. And while I was doing that, all of a sudden it felt like my head was on fire, like the top of my head. And then around my face started burning, and then my lips started. And the sailors were sort of looking at me like, and I didn't know what was going on. And finally I ran to somebody that was with me and I said, is my face blowing up? And they said, yeah. And I started to break out in hives, like from some shrimp or something. So I went down and got shot up with Benadryl. But then I started to think, oh my God, those sailors were probably thinking, God, up close, she's busted. Because I didn't know that this was happening.
Yeah. I don't think there's a chance of that.
I think that's what they were thinking. God, she's ugly.
And so after the Benadryl, did everything return to normal?
No, then I went fast asleep.
Oh, is that
so
right?
The last 2 hours on the ship, I was in some admiral's room, knocked out. By myself.
I smell an investigation. I was looking at this, every year this People magazine has the 100 most beautiful people in it, and you've been in it every year for the last, I don't know, 10 years, something like that?
It's crazy.
Yeah, and here's your picture. This is just lovely. Do you get tired of being in this issue?
I would think they'd be tired of having me in it.
Oh, I don't think so.
Actually.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. They have you in here, let's see, Halle Berry, best brows. They have it categorized. You have the best eyebrows. You have
What is
lovely
that? What is
well,
the best eyebrows?
you have lovely eyebrows. I'm not sure that's the category I would have put you in.
Hey now.
Look at this. I'm also in the issue. Dave Letterman.
Oh.
How about that? Nice marmot-like hair. So it's quite an honor for both of us then, isn't it? Are we dating anybody? Seeing anybody? Are we going out? Do we have... We have fun? Do we have...
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Oh,
but
good
I
for you.
really need, you know my luck with men. You know, it's not so good.
Well, what do you think the deal is on that?
I don't know. Do you have some advice? I mean, like seriously, like what? Like what do men like?
Well,
No, for real. Like really.
you're talking to the wrong guy. Here's what happened to me. I got married once. I was married like 10 or 12 years, and was blissfully happy the first 2.5 years. And then the last 7.5 years or whatever, it was not very happy. And then when it all went away, I said, well, I won't be doing that again.
I agree.
Yeah. So how many times have you been married?
Twice.
Twice. Well, I think it's time to quit.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've had your fun.
Had my fun.
That's right. I'm guessing that for you it's doubly difficult because I have a feeling that a large group of men would probably find you so successful and so lovely to be a bit intimidating. Do you run into that?
I don't know. Maybe that's what the problem is. I don't know.
And do friends fix you up? Is that how it works?
No, my friends never have.
Yeah.
They just don't. They don't want the pressure.
You know what you should do? Go to Starbucks.
Oh, that's where all the good men are.
Well, I don't
Starbucks,
know.
huh?
But I don't know. I mean, internet? Can you meet guys on the internet?
You know, I've thought of that.
Yeah.
I've really seriously given that thought.
Yeah.
I have a guy now.
You have a guy now?
And it's going really well. I
Good.
just don't
How
want to
long have
mess
you
it
known
up.
him?
About 8 months.
8 months? Yeah. And what is the total time of your two marriages?
2 years each
2 years. So the total time is 4 years.
of married, but you put in the time of dating. So all
Right.
in all, I'd say I spent 10 years.
10 years
in a
with two
relationship.
guys.
2 guys.
So you divide 10 by 2?
5 and 5, yeah.
5.
Wasted time.
I wish I had some kind of numerical equation now that I could propose, but it just doesn't add up. So the guy, the 8 months, what's the deal on him? The 8 month
He's
guy.
a good guy.
What does he do?
He's a model.
Now, when you say model, does that mean he's like really good looking?
Yep.
Oh.
But he's also opening up a restaurant here in New York called Cafe Fuego on St. Mark's.
And Cafe Fuego?
Cafe Fuego.
Meaning
Cafe on fire.
on fire, yeah. I don't know that that's going to work because Hello, Cafe Fuego. Yes, are you on fire tonight? Yes, we are. Well, then we're not coming, thank you.
You've got a big birthday.
Oh, do I ever? That's right. On Thursday,
I heard.
I turn the big 7-0.
No. How old will you be?
I'll be 60.
Yeah, wow.
If I live that long.
Well, I brought you a little something for you to enjoy.
Really? You brought in a little something?
I didn't bring it out here. It's back there, but something for you to enjoy
Oh, really?
with your.
Would you ever, and I don't mean to be personal, it's none of my business, and I don't much care, but would you ever go out with a really old guy?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, why? Why would you want to do that?
What is really old?
Well,
I
like
mean,
me, I'm really old, for God's sakes. Look at me.
You're not really old. You make 60 look good.
Really? Oh.
That's not really old. I thought you meant like 90.
Yeah, well, what about 90? Would you go with the guy?
No.
This is the new Esquire on the cover. Beautiful, lovely, very, very nice.
And then the pictures inside also quite provocative. There it is, right there. Look at that.
Oh.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about this article, Dave. I got to write it myself.
Really?
Really.
So it's written about you, by you, about you?
No, it's not about me. It's about the journalist who was interviewing me. I got to turn the tables.
Oh, how did that
and
go?
ask him all the. It was great. Yeah. It was very liberating to turn the tables. And
What kind of person was it? Man or a woman? Man.
it was a man.
Yeah. Nice guy?
A very nice guy. If you read my article, you know, it's sort of skewed, but he's a very nice
I'm still
guy.
looking at the pictures. And by the way, I just happened to notice, coincidentally, I'm in the same issue. Did you notice that? Here in the back. It's the Live Your Life, Love Your Deb. I almost never leave the tub. What a coincidence. What are the chances of you being on the cover and then I'm in the
tub?
How do you feel as a mother-to-be?
I feel wonderful. Better than I've ever felt. So.
Did you go through that, what they call the morning sickness? Did you ever have any of that?
Oh yeah, it's really all-day sickness.
That's
though.
right. Yeah.
They don't tell you that.
Yeah.
But it's pretty beautiful. Like smells. I can just look at the wrong thing. Cologne, perfume, everything like that.
But you're through that phase now. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm into my 4th month, so I'm through that.
Do you know the sex of the baby?
No. No. I've got my whole life to know. So I'm just going to wait this out.
Well, you'll know immediately.
Well, no. Good point. But I do have something to share with you, though. You know, you have a baby. Everybody knows that. You have a child.
Well, hardly a baby
So,
now. It's going to be 4. But I mean, it breaks my heart because I wish I had a baby. I mean, I like him just fine, but there's something. But you know what I'm saying? There's something special when you can just put him right there and he's your little baby, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got ultrasounds then done too,
Yeah.
right? So you know what that is. So there's this new thing called a 3D ultrasound. Did you get that done?
I don't think so.
Did you get that
With the
done?
glasses? I don't think so.
Well, we just had one, and it surprisingly kind of looks like you.
Oh,
Not kidding.
really?
All of my friends that I'm so happy to come show them my 3D ultrasound, and they all say, kind of looks like David Letterman. I mean, and you kind of can see little glasses. It's really true. And I started to bring it, but I thought, I don't want to show that on
Wait a
national
minute.
television.
Is this it? Is this what you're talking about?
Oh, there you go.
This can't be right. This can't possibly be.
What kind of a kid were you?
I was a pretty good kid.
Pretty good kid?
I mean,
You get good
did
grades?
some things. I got good grades. I mean, I had my fair share of, you know, trouble. Do you want to know a story? Do you want to? I don't know, Paul. Is that yes or no?
I'm not sure it's the proper forum for a story.
Yeah, no. Why tell the story here? You know.
No,
No,
please
of course
tell us
we
a
want it.
story.
Of course we want
It's
it.
not X-rated or anything.
Oh, then
Okay.
forget it.
All right.
No, tell us the
Let's
story
hear it.
about when you were a kid.
So one time I decided to sneak out of the house. You know, all kids, you snuck
Yep.
out of the house before, right? All kids sneak out of the house. So I snuck out of the house with my girlfriend, and my girlfriend had stolen her mother's car.
Yep.
So we thought we'd go for a drive. And while we were out joyriding, we got into a car accident and totaled the car.
Yeah.
So imagine us trying to drive this like rickety car home. We made it home. I get to my house, and first of all, we go by her house, and her mother's there, and her mother's really not that upset. They're like, oh, well, you know, as long as you're all right, that's
Right.
all that really matters. We get to my house, and my mother's already pissed because she's known that I've been missing now for about 3 hours. So when I get home, there she is with the cigarette, and the Diet Coke. And whenever my mom had a cigarette and a Diet Coke past midnight,
Right.
your
Yeah,
ass was grass.
Gonna be a long night. Yeah.
So I got in more trouble than this girl who's actually totaled her mother's
Right.
car. My mother was just pissed that I was
What
on
did
the
you? Were you
ride.
grounded or something like that?
Yeah, for like the whole year.
Yeah. Well, good, but good for your mother. Good for your mother. And then if something, God forbid, like that happens with your child, good luck trying to ground her, he or she, for the whole year. It's a whole different world
It's
now.
a whole, I know. Now it's, what is it now? Time out? They have to go sit in the corner or something?
Yeah, we have a naughty chair at our house.
Does the naughty chair actually work?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's not to the point where he'll take himself to the naughty chair. So, you tell me, is it working? I don't know. Yeah, I know. I'm going to the chair. We'll see you later.
So in terms of playing an astronaut, is there any sort of research or preparation that you wanted to do or needed to do? Or?
I did. I did something you might have been interested in. I went on a zero-G flight.
I've heard about
You ever heard
this.
about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
And how does that work? It makes these parabolic dives and climbs.
Yeah, and when you're diving down, that's when you are experiencing zero-G. And you do that about 15 times on this flight.
15 times?
15 times.
At what altitude do you begin the dives,
20,000 feet.
20,000 feet, what kind of aircraft?
I don't know the kind of aircraft. Can't tell you.
That'd be the first thing I'd want to know. What am I getting on?
A big one.
Yeah. Okay, so what happens?
And so you make these dives, and when you're in those dives, you then experience weightlessness.
So you're just flying or
You're just
floating.
flying.
Is that a delightful sensation?
It's a really delightful sense. Everybody cracks up laughing.
Yeah.
It's to be upside down and not have a head rush
Yeah.
is probably an experience that you've never felt before.
And why do they do it 15 times?
So you get your money's worth.
Yeah.
Because you pay a lot to go on this flight.
How many people are in the
Well, it depends how many sign up for that particular flight. Our flight had about 15 people.
15 people? This is what they used to refer to as the vomit comet.
Yes.
Yeah. And do people vomit on the aircraft?
Almost every single one of us at some point do, yes.
Yeah. And what?
And one poor guy, the first time down, got sick, and he was sick for, 14 dives after that. He sat strapped in the back of the plane, just 5 shades of blue.
So they wouldn't let him float around. He's strapped in the back doing that.
Yeah.
Oh my God! If there's anything worse than free floating, it would be strapped in. And what? How about you? How did you do?
I did well until the 15th time.
Yeah. And did they tell you, by way of preparation, have a light lunch, don't have lunch, don't eat breakfast? What do they tell you?
No, they don't really tell you anything. That's the problem. You just sort of show up.
What a lousy job that is, cleaning that up. And the thing, when the thing lands, they got to have somebody clean that up.
Well, we're doing it in bags.
Would you do this again?
No need to.
I agree with that.